Yes, the question we are asking on the weekend show this morning is how can we sustain the legacy of Igbo apprenticeship system? We know it better, or Aikaji Igbo boy we Malia. Kedu ka si sustain here? Immediately after the war, the Igbo apprenticeship system became one of the highest ways of skill acquisition and entrepreneurship development among the Igbos. And before you know it, several businesses, several markets boomed because of this kinds of system. And several Igbo men became made because they followed through this process. Unlike now where we have entrepreneurship and skill centers that will train you on different skills. But then it was basically the system of getting empowered as a trader in any form. As some people that later became importers, this was the system they followed. For even people that learned how to be mechanics, panel beaters, and different skills, you had to pass through someone for an acceptable number of years to be trained and then settled with maybe the income you were able to generate under your master. There are ways the sharing formulas are made depending on the agreement made by the master and the apprentice and the family of the apprentice or whosoever that is working as the intermediary. But recently we've been hearing different negative stories. You hear of a master that was served for 10 years without settling his boy. I have a story of a young man who, after years of being trained, his master refused, to the extent that the traders in his Oga's line had to agree and raise money to just start a business with him because they saw prospects in the young man. And today the young man is doing well. Some of these stories continue to reduce the impact of this business that have been recognized across the globe as one of the fastest means of entrepreneurship development. In fact, a Harvard professor described it as one system that should be replicated across the world. So how do we ensure that we sustain this legacy and ensure that some of these bottlenecks that we encounter on the way are ended? So this morning I have an entrepreneur and a business coach with us to analyze this situation and tell us what we can do to get it better. He is our regular on the show. We know him, Obinna Nwakpadolo. Good morning and welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good morning, Anambra. How are you doing?
Yes. If you listen to my intro, this is a system that we've worked with for years and several people had to pass through it. Depending on the arrangement. But the underlying situation is the negative stories we hear. There are also very positive and wonderful stories that have come up from the system. So can you do a critical analysis for us and tell us why this problem exists or that the stories are becoming more rampant these days?
Okay, thank you so much. The thing there is, when you want to talk about this, it's not as if it's rampant. It has been existing. The story has been there for a while, or been a long time. Just that we now have a communication system that blows it up so easily.
Okay.
Everything that has advantage, we know has a disadvantage. The most important thing, like you said, is that this system has been designed to empower the younger ones to be able to get themselves started with something. So if we want to look at it critically, the major purpose of apprenticeship is guidance and is to equip you. The part of settling is more like secondary. And not everybody that is settled succeeds. And because of one reason or the other, and some persons that are settled also succeed. And there are people that was not settled, they still succeeded. Yes. So there are a lot of factors around it, and all those things are personality. You understand? Because there are no measures to screen who should go for apprenticeship or who should not go for apprenticeship. The only thing there is this: when somebody succeeds out there, you feel like, okay, people expect him in the village to start taking some of the younger ones in the village to the city and groom them in that business that he's doing. But aside taking them to the city, there are personalities that these people are, that this person did not contribute in. You understand? there are some of those things, some of those personalities could be a threat to his own business. And he is not aware of them. All he knows is that as a young person in the village, let's go and find a way to guide him on the way so that he can be able to start something on his own. So those things at the end of the day, by the time they come down, it becomes a relationship. And that relationship, those particular things that that are not part of what you are aware of, will start playing out. And those things, number one, could a kind of create a bias between the master and the servant, more like, in the sense that when you start seeing some antecedents, you just be like, this person is not serious. So. But now you've made a commitment back home to the parents or to whoever it is that, okay, look at, I'm taking this person, it's going to serve me for a number of years, and after that, I will settle that person. And sometimes you now find it difficult to now say, okay, I'll go back because of what people will say and all that. You understand? So there are a lot of things that come together that people don't really look at. What they look at, this person served this person for some years. Me, I graduated 2004. I still served under somebody for another 7 years. You understand? I served under somebody because I noticed there are a lot of things school taught me that there are a lot of things I did not learn from school that I need if I must be successful as an entrepreneur. You understand? And I served under someone for 7 years. And I didn't serve him to give me money to go home, no. But I still stand today to tell people that what I acquired from that place is more than, if I spent with something years in school, I wouldn't have acquired it. And some of the things that is helping me thrive in anything I'm doing today are the things I learned from there. So the major part of the thing is equipping you with understanding and equipping you with the things that will help you stand your ground and manage and match the challenges that every business carries. That is actually what apprenticeship should be. You understand? Then that part of settlement, there should be a system of settlement. It shouldn't be that when somebody, because most times when you are under someone, for an example, this is ABS. And you are doing this under ABS, you get to a point where you be like, okay, I've stayed in ABS for 7 years, I've stayed in ABS for 10 years, let me now go and start my own radio station. My brother, tendency of succeeding is very, very slim. Because there are a lot of things that ABS is shouldering that you did not know, and you thought that you are thriving because you are under their umbrella. You understand? So because of that, when you now go out, and those things they were shouldering, you are not aware of, when they start playing out, you start struggling. And before you know it, you either give up and come back, or you end up getting frustrated. So I believe that if we take it and now structure it, because there is no structure to it. Even this, when we talk about settlement, most times there is no the thing there, when parents are giving their children to someone, they are so happy that this person is even taking the person.
Exactly, because
there is no terms, there is no anything. I've seen people that have been settled, they gave them 1 million. Now 1 million you gave someone 20 years ago could mean something, but 1 million you give someone today will actually mean nothing. And also, the yardstick of the country, the person that you even serving, how buoyant is he? How have the system, the country that we are in, what is the business like? Sometimes some of these people are not also sensitive to things like that. You understand? All they know is that, I've served him for 7 years. The truth is this, what he owes you, if they want to talk of who should pay, you will do that will pay. Because you have actually gotten a jackpot that will make you rich for life.
Yes, but you know, some of these arrangements are informal. Let me give you an experience that I have. There is a person I know, the agreement or the system they use in the market is that after the young man stayed with his Oga in his own shop for 1 year, by then he has learned some of the skills that he needed to know for training. So the Oga now opened an extra shop for him, still inside the market, gave him goods and everything. And the agreement was that after his time of settlement, after his time of service to his Oga, they will do an assessment of the
guy's results.
Yes, the income, the stock in the market, and maybe the income he has made over those periods, and then divided by 3. His Oga will take 2 and he will take 1. But the truth was that when it came to time of settlement, The Oga didn't agree on the amount that he had made. He underassessed the business, which was even more than what had been made over the 5 years that he oversaw his own particular shop. Then he also, in the calculation of the stocks, he calculated things that were damaged and were not the responsibility of the young man ordinarily. You get, so some of these things came up as an issue. Now, talking about structuring, when you talk about structuring of this kind of agreements or how these settlements will go, what are you looking at?
Okay, structuring, to me, I feel it, because if you say we want to have a particular pattern, there are dynamics to patterns based on who is the individual, just like this particular one you just mentioned. Yeah. Now, the truth is this. It is easy to tell Oga to settle. And sometimes, these people, it's not like they don't want to settle. You understand? Though some of them are very bad. Some of them indeed are very bad. You understand? But sometimes, if you check very well, very, very well, there are yardsticks that may cause that. One of the yardsticks that may cause that is sometimes when this guy is serving you, over time you became Oga. You are no longer coming to the market. This guy have access to all your customers. And he's the one that your customers relate with.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, you are now settling him. When you now settle him, this guy will now look for shop inside, because this is where he's conversant with. He wants to start playing that game in that same market with you. And definitely, you know that when he start playing that game inside that market with you, it will definitely be those same customers that you have that is going to pull to his own direction. That's some of the things that brings that issue. But if you want to create a system, I prefer a system that is strong and big than a small system that are struggling.
Okay.
You understand? If you want to create a system, like that concept they did was nice, but it would have been that, for me, I would have said, okay, fine. Why not do it in a pattern like, okay, this guy have learned this job over a period of time. Now you created a new branch. You allowed him to go and get a branch. You created that new branch, and it's still an umbrella under your
Yes,
corporate.
exactly, yeah.
You understand? But now, it is no longer more like he is now your apprentice. But in as much as he is still carrying your umbrella,
yes,
and you are still providing him management, you are still providing him structure,
yes,
you are still providing him covering. But now his own is still continue doing that thing you are doing for me. Continue doing it here. But now in this case, it's going to be more like partnership.
Yes. And
in partnership, whatever we make, we share. You understand? Whatever we make, we share. And if you want to run that pattern, it's simple. If you want to run that pattern, it's simple. You can delegate a particular amount of money and say, okay, for this shop, the stocking capacity of this shop is going to be 15 million or 20 million.
Exactly.
So when you're stocking it up with 20 million, you know that this guy is transacting with this 20 million. It's easier for you to have a clearer picture of the entire activity by the time you want to check. You understand? Because on a monthly basis, if you want to check the results you guys make, you use your record does all those things. And when your record does all those things, and you remove what the system needs, because the system needs its own money.
Exactly.
So when you bring out the entire, after I must have done that and bring out your profit, you can now know how to share it. And now, if the guy now gets to a point where it's okay, I think I've known so much that I no longer want to be sharing with you, the guy can now pull out. And I believe he would have saved money, because he's no longer an apprentice. He's earning the nature of money he should be earning. So, and that nature of money you should be earning, you should be saving on your own. If you really want to now go and pull out completely and start your own, it's now your choice. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So that if you have that, everybody will be fair. Everybody. So if you even decide to be in the same market and do your stuff, it's fine.
Yeah.
You understand? Because while you are doing that, Oga is also grooming another person. You understand? That can always take up the space if you are not there. But most times, if you do that, and Oga have created such umbrella for 20 people, and Oga created such umbrella for 20 people, that 20 people have made Oga to become a very strong hold that everybody will want to identify with the system. It has given him also negotiation advantage. It has given him also market advantage, because if you want to talk about sourcing, a company that has 20 branches going for sourcing of material, he will definitely get it cheaper than someone that is going as one branch.
Exactly.
You understand? So he has given Oga all the advantages that it is easier for you to just align with it to get it. But not everybody will align with a vision. Not everybody. There are people that are designed to be vision runners as well. So if you look at yourself and you feel that, okay, I've been with this man, we have been running this partnership, and I've been able to save up a particular amount of money to now go and run my own solo. Fine, you pull out and tell Oga, amicably, I want to pull out. I want to go and start my own. Let it be fully my own. I don't want involvement of this.
Now, talking about the informality of the process, because it's informal. Most times you see an apprentice who is learning the trade. Like you said, there is no definite thing that it looks like. The parents are even happy that you are taking off the responsibility of their shoulder. You see arrangements where the boy is both the house boy and the trader. He keeps the house, and then when it's time to go to the market, he goes to the market. Some of them get to the extent of washing Oga's clothes, cleaning cars, as a way to maintain or to sustain their stay in the Oga's house and all those. Now, we've talked a lot about the Oga settling.
Sorry. Okay. That part you mentioned, you didn't also mention that he'll be eating Oga's food
exactly,
and sleep in Oga's house. That if he rents his house, he also cannot afford to pay the rent. Now, when you're a younger person and stays in somebody's house, you should know that there are normal chores
that you should do.
Even if your own father's house, you should understand that it's chores you have to do. You understand? And definitely, we are also human. We are not perfect. Yeah. Sometimes your guys could actually overstretch their boundary. But based on what you want, you could as well decide to endure. You understand?
Now, talking about the Oga, because most times when these conversations happen, the conversation only focus on the boy. Who is described as a weakling in that relationship.
Who doesn't have speak for him.
Yes. Now, you also see a situation, I remember it's not up to 2 months, where we saw a video that was trending online of a boy that took away goods worth 2 million naira from his Oga's shop. What saved the man that day was that the vigilante in the market saw him. And he was sending these goods to his mother at the village. Now, you can imagine in this economy, somebody losing goods, capital of 2 million naira in a single slot. And this is what the guy does every Saturday. Do you get? Now, this kind of relationships, how do we, let's look at the overall structuring so that it will not suffer both the. I also have a situation.
On that part.
Yes.
On that part, the issue we have on that part is, sometimes Ogas are making mistake.
Okay.
That you have someone with you doesn't mean that you will now
lose the control of the business.
Lose control of the business. Number one, most of these guys that are doing this don't have an adequate record that shows the face of their business. You understand? That this guy may even carry product worth of 2 million. Oga will come back on Monday, will not notice it.
Exactly.
Because he doesn't have a structure that helps him even understand, what do I have in my market? Go and check all these big companies. In as much as they still lose, but they mitigate it with proper records.
Exactly. This instance you are giving reminded me of an apprentice from my area, although it's not my town per se, but this young man built a duplex, set up a shop for his mom and his sister.
As apprentice.
You can imagine the money that was involved.
Yes.
You can imagine the money that was involved. So how do we ensure that this structuring happen? Because the truth is, some of these traders that are using this system, their businesses are informal. If you check 70% of them, in fact, even more, their business is not even registered with CAC.
Yeah.
It's just like we've started in the market and we're trading, I have receipts for whatever I sell. So how can we structure this to ensure that beyond this generation it lasts?
Okay, I remember I've listened to Dr. Cosmos Madoka
speak on
saying
this
that when he saw that this apprenticeship system is only bringing to him more harm than good, he chose to use another pattern of you work for me, I pay you salary. You understand? Me as well, I have a couple of businesses I do, and recently we decided to start structuring it. Structuring it in the sense that now I want to expand, I want to get people on board, because I find out that even in the employment system, you're also grooming people.
Yes.
But after grooming them, because you didn't create a system to nurture what you have groomed and also use it to your advantage and for the advantage of that person too. The person stays with you for years. After that, he leaves. He ends up going to pursue an ambition that he will go and start all over again. Because if somebody works for you in a business, even if you are paying the person salary, which is what I do, I pay salary. But over time, like 2-3 years, they already understand everything about my business. But after like 2-3 years, maybe they have gotten what they wish they wanted. And because of the level where they are, there is a level that your salary cannot exceed.
Yes.
So they don't really see this as a future for themselves. So because of that, over time, when they feel they've gotten something better, they will leave you. And all those things you have put into them, you get a new person, you start training that person again. Are you understanding it? So me, I've looked at it and say, no, this is not a best pattern. Now let me find a way that anyone that comes across me, I nurture him and I make him part of the system that we are growing. You understand? But a lot of people, even if you say you want to come up with a system, how many of them want to adopt that system? So the only thing we can do is to make you understand that, see, this thing has advantage, this thing has a disadvantage. Make it clear what you intend to do and bring out your own terms. Bring out your own terms. If this child does this, look at your decision on that child. Because sometimes you take people and you say you want to groom them, but their understanding and their notion about life is totally different. They are not even ready to work. They are not ready to do anything. They are it's just like the person that committed suicide. To me, if you had given that guy money he will not succeed. Yes. Because it shows that everything he was expecting was that money. Exactly. He lost sight of the training he has gathered from that system for the period of time
that he was there.
He didn't even look at it. Because let me tell you, it's easy to see opportunity when you grow in knowledge. When you grow in knowledge, you see opportunity. It is when you don't know enough, that is when you don't see enough opportunities. So if that guy have actually grown enough, staying with his Oga for a period of time, even beyond what Oga wants to do for him, he would have even seen more opportunities around. Like even the person that you say that built house do this one, if you check very well, the person may not have been stealing Oga's money.
Yeah.
There may be tendencies, but he may have seen opportunity. Just like when I was telling myself, I say, see, every time we sell products in carton, when you get the carton, you carry the carton and you keep it in front of the office. I don't count it as part of the business I do. But it can be a business for you. But you will see it and you throw it away. And somebody that sees it as business will come and pick it. Because they sell carton. But you that gets it free of charge doesn't see it as business. So if actually you are packing the cartons that we are using to get our products, and you are packing them and selling them, or you did not steal from Oga, because Oga is not interested in that carton. Are you understanding it now? You did not steal from me because I'm not interested in carton. I'm even the one telling you what you should do now.
Exactly.
So if the person is growing in knowledge, you can begin to see opportunities. There are some people that work in eateries. Maybe what their Oga does is they have eateries, and every day people drink bottled water and leave it. Oga doesn't count that as stealing. You can choose. Your job could be to find a way to be scavenging those bottles and keeping it. When the ones is much, you can choose to look for people that recycle and sell it to them. So when you are working with somebody, there are a lot of things Oga feel, man, I'm too busy with this opportunity that I don't have time for these small ones. That you can choose to key in and it will not be stealing. Are you understanding it? And beyond that, there could also be opportunities that you may end up discovering because you have networked in that space. And you could as well be doing it, that it is not affecting Oga, and it's not Oga's money that is into it. It's just that you are using because there is social capital that is part of money too. There's social capital that is part of money. That because you know where they can get this, I understand people can call you because of it. And maybe after connecting them to who needs it, you can make as much as 200 to 300,000. In our business now, if I connect you to that business, if I connect you to who you can get it, because of how big that business is, I can be making as much as 200,000 for just connecting you without doing anything. And what am I selling? I'm only selling the social capital that I have.
Exactly.
Are you understand? So when somebody knows the game and learns the game, things that will give him money are so much around it. And if you're a smart person, you could begin to take advantage of all those things. That's why I say that it's not everybody that goes for apprenticeship that even if you give them money, will succeed. Because not everybody, not all of them are cut out for entrepreneurship. Let's say somebody that have a background where all they understand is go to school, get certificate, and look for work. And father is doing the same thing, mother is doing the same thing. That is what they are preaching. And now you now carry manga and say, okay, and you are not. You say, okay, fine, let me now send you to go and do apprenticeship. Definitely, there's orientation this person is going with. That orientation, that person will not do so much. He even be seeing this thing as a burden.
Yeah.
Are you understand? So, like, that's why I say that before even you pick somebody, there's orientation that he came with. So it's even a lot of work. A guy is teaching you a job. He's also trying to reorient you.
Yeah. To
be able to align with what this system that you are in needs for you to thrive.
All right, finally, we cannot end this discussion without looking at the issue of get-rich-quick syndrome. It also affects the system of getting skills. Some people, if you mention the fact that there are skills they can learn to do, you are a business coach, you are an entrepreneur. There are legitimate businesses to do to survive. They will tell you, no, actually, boutique by force. How can this kind of mindset also affect the Igbo apprenticeship system, the Igbo ideology of growing businesses, and then also growing genuine businesses, and how can we address it finally?
You see, that part have actually dealt with me, because I've seen a lot of young people that I've invested so much in. But you know, when you're investing in a youth, a young person, the best you can do is what you can do. You're not the father, you're not the mother. And over time, along the line, they feel that, man, I don't know how long I will continue with this thing you are doing. I have seen what other young people are doing that is faster for me. Yeah. And most of them will end up, dumping what you are doing. And maybe you must have gone far with them, that all they need now is just one platform now. They will blow from there. And they will be willing to drop everything about that stuff to just go and pursue. So what they are saying is something that is bad, and it has become peculiar in this age. But I blame the society, and I also blame parents, because we have now decided to cherish, adore money more than character and integrity. You understand? As far as you can go to places, go to church and all those things, people are glad to hear that you can bring 200,000, you can bring 1 million, you can do this, you are driving a big car, you are building a house. That is now what we use to measure success. No longer character, no longer integrity, no longer track records. So because of that, a lot of young people don't really care. Because if they get back home, the mother will hail her. If he goes back home, they want to make him chief. If he goes back home, the Imona will recognize his words and all those things. You understand? When I was growing up, if I come back home with pens, my mom will search my school bag and see pencil that doesn't belong to me. I'm in trouble. You understand? But a lot of parents today, their children are still in university, they will come back with Mercedes. Even if it was a legit money. I will not accept that money. I will not accept that car.
At that level?
At that level. You understand? Even if it was a legit money. But we accept it. We even use it to brag with other women. That, look at my son has succeeded. So when we do all those things, you mount pressure on the other younger generation. Those people that even feel that, okay, they are following the right track. They say, how long will I follow this right track? Where these other ones that are my mates have been embraced by the society for having money. So somehow, if the society, and society we are talking about is family and all those things, we're able to, try to, do something about this particular thing, it will help to reduce the pressure. Because when I was in school, actually I made money as a student. In fact, my first millions was as a student. You understand? But in those days, the last thing that was in my mind was to buy a car. It was not. Then you can buy a Golf then for 200 and something thousand. This Golf they drive, this Volkswagen Golf, it was sold for 200 and something thousand that time. Shuttle have not started existing then, but I know Golf was around 200 and something thousand. So I could actually afford it at that time. But that was the last thing I feel that was my problem as a student. You understand? But now, students buy a car that a businessman cannot afford. Not that a businessman cannot afford it. You
but the responsibility
what I mean?
wouldn't allow
yes,
you to do.
But that's what they buy.
All right, thank you very much, Obin Namwabadolu, for joining us on the Weekend Show this morning. It was an exciting conversation with you looking at this very important topic. Thank you for joining us. All right, this is the Weekend Show, and we've been discussing sustaining the Igbo apprenticeship system, the legacy of Igbo apprenticeship system, the one we know popularly as Igbo Boy. We'll now take you over to our news studio for breakfast news at 8.